land, security guarantees and the promise of no further war down the track. They're just some of the options being discussed at a historic meeting happening right now at the White House. It's being led by the US President Donald Trump and involves the leaders of Ukraine, France, the UK, Germany, Italy and Finland. That's the class photo there. And fortunately, it's all struck a pretty upbeat tone so far. Joining us live now from Ukraine is MP Oleksiy Goncharenko. Oleksiy, thanks for your time this morning. So what's the view from Ukraine this morning, our time, evening your time, about these talks that are taking place?
Hello, and for the moment it looks very good. Really, I'm really optimistic. I was quite concerned about today's meeting. We all remember the last meeting between President Trump and President Zelensky in the White House in February. It was catastrophic, but this time it looks like it was really good. And I liked the comments of European leaders, and in general I liked the mood and this position that the whole Europe was united around Ukraine, and United States were like presiding these leaders of free world meeting. And the comments of President Trump today were also absolutely logical, and I like them. So, I mean, really optimism. I think one person who wasn't happy to see all of this, his name is Vladimir Putin.
Yes, that's true, but his name was discussed. So there is the potential for a trilateral meeting to be held after this, and Donald Trump referred to this earlier on. He said if it goes well, there would be attempts to get a trilateral together involving Vladimir Putin, involving Volodymyr Zelensky, and if need be, Donald Trump as well. He said he'd prefer not to, but if he's needed, that he will. How confident are you that Vladimir Putin would go along to that?
I think that we have a good chance. If all these countries will combine their efforts, I mean, Russian economy compared to United States, together with France, Britain, Italy, Germany, Finland, and I mean other European countries, it's a joke. So Russian economy is a joke. Yeah, Russia has nuclear weapons. Russia has a big army. I don't know. But economically, for example, it's absolutely a joke. By technologies, the same. So these countries completely, they can make Russia to accept that peace should be achieved. The only thing, they need to speak with Russia with the language of strength. Alaska meeting, from my point of view, was not good at all. But today's meeting is very inspiring.
Yeah, but at least conversations are being had involving all parties, whether or not they're all together. Hopefully that happens down the track. So what are the security guarantees that you and other European nations are pushing for today? Can you elaborate on that point while these talks are happening behind the scenes?
Yeah, we all heard today, all European leaders, once again, all of them, mentioned Article 5 guarantees. Article 5 is a NATO statute, and Article 5 says attack against one is attack against all. That's the main sense. So this is real guarantee. So if there will be a guarantee like this from the countries which were at the table today, it is not worse than NATO. Yeah, Ukraine wants to become member of NATO, but if it is not on the table, the alternative, which was discussed today, what we heard, is absolutely a real option.
But would the US be involved in that?
That's, I can say, one of the probably the most important what we can take for the moment from this meeting, that President Trump did not say that it is impossible when he was asked about sending of American peacemakers to Ukraine and boots on the ground after the end of hostilities. I think this is quite sensational, and I hope that means something. We will see.
Do you expect Ukraine to give up the Donbass or give up any of its land?
We need to clarify what does it mean to give up. If speaking of give up, we're saying that Ukraine recognizes that part of our territories are illegally controlled by Russia. That's, yes, that's something we can recognize, and that is the fact. And unfortunately, we can't kick off Russians from our territories, at least with this level of support from our allies that we have today. But if we're speaking about giving up, juridically recognizing these territories to be Russian, that is absolutely unacceptable for us. And this is a big difference, to accept that Russia controls it and to accept that Russia owns it. Russia controls it, but it is Ukrainian territories.
So just so I'm clear on that, if it was still Ukrainian territory but controlled by Russia, you would be okay with that? Or did I mishear you?
That is reality, and yes, that's something we can agree on, freezing of this conflict. I can give you one example. Baltic states, Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, were occupied by Russia for more than 4 decades, but never ever the free world, including Australia, recognized it to be Russian. And when the Soviet Union collapsed, and Russian Empire did it twice during the last 100 years, they reestablished their independence, and countries like Australia reestablished their diplomatic relationships with these countries. So it's a big difference to control and to be legally owning some territory.
And so you'd continue to have the economic benefits of those, coal mines, etc., in the Donbass.
That depends. We will have economic benefits from what we will control, and Russia will have economic benefits from what they will control. But once again, the status of these territories should be illegally occupied.
All right. Well, I'm sure we'll find all of this out in due course. But Oleksiy, appreciate your time.